and welcome to my channel about living in and moving to Denver, Colorado. Today we're going to be talking about what is going on in Colorado, specifically Denver, in 2023. Let's get into it. Martineau, also known as the Real Estate Gal. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, thank you and welcome. I cover all things about living in and moving to the Denver, Colorado area, events to go see, places to check out, really great neighborhoods. And so I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video, which is twice a week. And as mentioned, my nickname is Katie the Real Estate Gal. If you need help with buying, selling, or anything in between, I'm your gal and would be honored to earn your business. So please reach out whichever way is comfortable for you. Call, text, or email. So in this video, we're going to be covering a little bit about the housing statistics and what is going on in the real estate market, Colorado weather, and how it is so different right now than it has been in previous years, and then what is going on around town. So first off, with housing statistics, we are still in a seller's market. We have a severe shortage of homes. Now, what we're finding is houses will fly off the market, if you will, if they are turnkey, ready to move in, and in pristine condition. Now, super duper important. If you are selling in the state of Colorado, you need to price appropriately. That is gonna go way above and beyond, and you're gonna get the best bang for your buck if you price appropriately. Pretty much where you see the house appraising for or just slightly under. So what you're trying to do is create foot traffic and get more excitement. And this is really, really critical. Now, if you are listing, I would be more than happy to share all of my tips and tricks with you, but you got to reach out to me so that I can give you more specific information and stats that are to your neighborhood and zip code. So what we do when we price the home is we find other comparable homes in the area that have sold in the last 6 months, typically within a half mile if we can, but sometimes we do have to reach outward a little bit further. Now, currently we have about 5,300 active homes in the market. That is super duper low. This is Denver Metro statistics. Now, to be in a balanced market, we're going to be upwards towards 25,000 homes. So sellers are still in the driver's seat. Now, why we see average days on market a little bit longer is because of the high interest rates. Now, why I say high is we have a lot of buyers that are like, I'm going to wait until interest rates go back down to the 3s and the 4%. We don't know if we're going to be getting there. So to hold your breath, you're probably going to be in a better position if you can pull the trigger, act quickly, and focus on the mortgage payment, the monthly payment that you're going to be paying, and make sure that number is comfortable. Don't focus on the interest rate and don't focus on the price of the home. And after you speak with a lender, which I promise it's not a scary thing, I could be on the call with you to make sure that you're taken care of, that you feel comfortable, that you're asking the right questions. I also have a plethora of lenders that I'd love to match you with after finding out what your personality is and what your work style is. So we could do a 3-way call or a Zoom call. You don't necessarily have to have your credit pulled. You could just start a conversation to see what you need to work on in order to qualify for the monthly payment that you're comfortable with. So currently the interest rates are hovering around 6 to 7%. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which is a secondary market, they are predicting that interest rates are going to be going down relatively soon, hopefully next summer. So the beauty about buying right now is there's not too much competition in the market unless they are those turnkey style homes. So the average days on market is about 12 days, depending on if you're looking for an attached style, which is going to be a condo or a townhome, or detached style, like a single family home. It also depends on the zip code and the pockets and the neighborhoods. That's why it's so important to be cautious when you're listening to national news or even statewide news. Getting those statistics, please know what you're listening to and what you're hearing, because if you're given a stat from Elon Musk that's talking about the entire United States, he's also including those different markets such as California and Texas and Oklahoma and Rhode Island, and those have nothing to do with Colorado or even Denver Metro. So just make sure you know what you're listening to. So in saying that, 12 days average on market, that's the Denver Metro, and that is including attached and detached style homes. We are in in Q3 of 2023 right now, and things always change week by week, month by month. So I'm gonna have a small plug that I do have a weekly newsletter that covers a ton of different information specific to the Denver Metro. How many active units there are, how many days on market, which sets expectations for buyers and sellers. Do you need to submit an offer today and be ready to go right now? Or do you have a week to kind of look around? It does depend on different zip codes, the neighborhoods you're looking at, and the price point. And then my newsletter also includes a featured home of the month, events that are going on around town, and then some housing tips as well. So if you want to be added to that list, please send me your email and your first and last name. I'd be more than happy to add you in there, and you can unsubscribe at any time as well. So though we have an inventory shortage, we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown, and that is because of interest rates being where they are. A lot of buyers have accepted the fact that the interest rates are a little bit higher, so get the home that they love, and then you can refinance at a later date. So that is why it is so important to focus on the monthly payment, be comfortable there. Don't necessarily shop just based off of the price of the home or where the interest rates are. And then this week specifically, we are in the third week of July. Showings were over 12,000 showings for the Denver metro area. It is up 23%, I believe is what it was from the week prior. Now we have had 3 holidays in a row, which has kind of thrown off a lot of the stats, and it's kind of tricky to compare. We had the 4th of July, Juneteenth, and Memorial Day. So now we're kind of back on track. The next holiday, I believe, should be Labor Day. And so we are also in the summer months, so we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown because people are taking vacations, going camping, going hiking, spending time before the kiddos have to go back to school in late August, early September. So if somebody is buying right now, they could essentially enroll their kids in that new school district of where the home is, which is perfect for probably their goals. So September and October will be a little steady, and then we typically see a little bit of a drop down in November and December. Why? Because of seasonality again and the holidays. So people love to host holidays at their home or be able to focus on family during that time. So if somebody is selling in November, December, they probably have to. They are moving for work, they have to relocate, they're downsizing. There's a plethora of reasons why somebody is going to sell, but they probably have to sell, which means negotiations are something that are going to be a lot more present during those months. So you could essentially get seller concessions. You could have the seller pay down your interest rate. I do have tips for sellers in order to not necessarily be taken advantage of, but just put your best foot forward and be prepared for those buyers that are going to negotiate a little bit. So I'd love to help you with those tips and tricks. So you got to reach out, and we will set up either a Zoom call or a phone call just so I can gather a little bit more information about what you're looking for and what strategy might be best for you. So to wrap up on the housing statistics, we have a slowdown in the market because of summer months, but we do have those homes that are turnkey ready to move in style homes that are going a little bit quicker. So that average on market or active is 12 days before going under contract. If you have a specific pocket or neighborhood that you would love those statistics on, please reach out to me. I have heat maps that show where the demand is the highest, where the average price point is, where you should be looking if you're looking for a certain price range. And I get all of this from an amazing gal. Her name is Megan Aller. She is with First American Title. She sends out, I believe it's an 88-page report. So what I like to do is grab the nitty-gritty, like the really good stuff from that, and put it in my newsletter. And I definitely need to give credit where credit is due. She is a wizard at these statistics. So I sift through that for you, and I send it in my newsletter, as well as if you have a specific area, I can send you that information as well. Alrighty, moving on to weather. Colorado is bipolar. I love it. I'm originally from Minnesota, and so we would have the extreme cold for 6 months out of the year, and then we would have muggy, sticky, hot summers, and the degree difference would maybe only be 10 degrees from night to day. Colorado, totally different, and I am here for it. I love it. We have had some gnarly thunderstorms, and we actually had a tornado that went through Highlands Ranch, which is a little bit south of the Denver area. It is It's still considered Denver Metro, but it is south of downtown Denver. A tornado ripped through, which I don't believe, since I've been here for 5.5 years, I haven't heard of tornadoes hitting kind of homes in that area. Sometimes we'll see tornadoes out east or north or south where there's not as many mountains and hills and whatnot, but we had the tornado. We have had our hail season. My gosh, we are overdue for that. So typically, correct me if I'm wrong, hail season is pretty much every other year or so. And I have a fair amount of friends that do hail damage repair for cars as well as houses. And some of them are like, hey, we're overdue. We need the business. Well, it came and not great. So my personal car, I had $11,000 worth of hail damage. I got hit the night prior and then the next day. And luckily my car is not totaled. I don't like car shopping, but so many cars have been totaled or just damaged from hail. So if you need help with filing a claim, please reach out to me. Happy to help however I can. I actually have a nice step-by-step or just kind of a don't miss these little bullet points when you are submitting a claim. As well as for hail damage, I have hail damage on my roof. So that is not great, but you know what? That is why you have insurance. There have been some very large size hail reports, and I actually, for my house, I am 2 miles south of Sloan's Lake. I had golf ball size hail. I have a photo of it when it's been in my hand. There has also been baseball size hail that was in Erie, and the back windshield has been shattered on all of these cars. Denver 7, Denver 9, all of the local news stations are reporting on the hail damage. So the storms are gnarly. They are so fun because there are cracks of lightning and thunder. We actually just had one this morning. I'm recording on a Thursday morning, and at 10 a.m. we were having cracks of lightning and thunderstorming. I love storms, but if you are moving here not used to when it actually rains, know that Colorado will have rainstorms, but the nice thing is they pretty much come and go. It's pretty rare that it will rain all day. They are relatively quick. I'd say 20 minutes to an hour of a storm, and then it passes. Typically it comes from over the mountains, past Denver, and then to the east, and you can actually kind of watch the clouds move. And know that if you're seeing dark clouds in the east, it's probably already passed. So weather is a thing. Having hail damage insurance is so incredibly important. Another note that I experienced is when the hail hit my windshield, I actually got 5 spider cracks. So the hail hits and then the glass just shatters, essentially. I had 5. And another thing that Colorado is known for is when rocks get kicked up from the road, they hit your windshield, and it's more often than not you're gonna see some sort of crack in your windshield at some point if you are living here. I'd say once every 3 years, you could probably expect something like that. Then you can do a price compare analysis and see if you should have windshield coverage included in your car insurance or if it's better to just pay out of pocket. If you have all the electronics that are in your windshield, highly recommend glass coverage. You're probably going to utilize paying the deductible and getting that, $1,000 plus repair on your windshield. And now in Q3, we are entering monsoon season, I just heard on the news. So it's gonna rain a little bit more. I actually haven't even turned my sprinklers on, which is super duper rare. And speaking of sprinklers, watering the lawn also includes cooling off the house. So my house has a swamp cooler. If you don't know what a swamp cooler is, it is essentially, it looks like an AC unit that'll sit on top of the house or it'll sit next to a window and it'll be elevated off the ground. And what it does is it collects water in the bottom of it and then has a giant motor and fan that blows against the water and then into the home to cool it off. It does not make the house AC cold, but it makes the house tolerable. So you will see a lot of swamp coolers. They are typically seen in drier climates. I had never heard of them before when I lived in Minnesota. So just know swamp coolers are a thing here. We also have attic fans. There are solar attic fans. Solar is another thing that Colorado is known for since we're talking about energy usage. It's really great for powering the house if you use that much electricity. And why Colorado is such a great place for it is because we have that varying degree of temperature throughout the year. So the largest swing that I think that I've ever seen was 80 degrees. That was a statistic that I saw on the news. So it was 90 degrees during the day, which obviously hot summer months. During the night, we had some sort of cold shift come through and it got to 10 degrees that night. Crazy. Always be prepared. Carry extra shoes in your car. Carry a jacket, because if you are walking in the shade, there's a 10-degree difference from the sun to the shade. Then you can just expect during the nighttime, temperatures are typically going to drop. So currently we've been seeing about 95 to 90 degrees during the day and then about 65 to 70 at night. I love that change. I sleep better in the cold, so just expect that Colorado is going to have those shifts. Also, during the winter months, you are going to see probably maybe 40 degrees during the day in the winter, and then it'll drop maybe below zero, maybe just at freezing. So depending what time of the year it is, we have a little bit more of a shift from daytime to nighttime, as well as if you're just walking in the shade versus the sun. To sum up weather, Colorado is super bipolar. Be prepared always. Sunscreen always. My aunt would come out to Colorado before I moved here, and I remember her saying she got sunburned when she was skiing. I was like, what do you mean? Like, even if it's overcast, you're getting sunburned? Well, because the sun's rays reflect off of the snow onto your face. So it's always great to wear sunscreen all year round. It doesn't matter if the sun is out or not. We are a mile high closer to the sun, so the climate is a lot different, and you will burn faster no matter if there are clouds or sun. Last and final topic of this video is there are so many outdoor events going on because the weather is absolutely beautiful. So Aspen, Telluride, Winter Park, Denver Metro, there are food festivals, brew festivals, pretty much every single weekend. There are venues hosting different food things like Grilled Cheese Fest, like Denver Food and Wine Experience. They will close off streets so that all these vendors can line up. Sometimes there's some super fun competitions. One of my favorites is the Barbecue Fest, and unfortunately it already happened, but you can look forward to it next year. And it took over in Power Field. There were so many different booths and you got to try all these different types of barbecue. Absolutely amazing. You can go nuts with different types of barbecue, you know, dry rub, barbecue sauce, Texas barbecue. I don't even know what other southern states do barbecue phenomenally, but barbecue is one of my favorite things, as you can see. And then there's also a ton of brew fests and wine festivals, and it just gets so fun to be able to support local, experience new brands, and hopefully starting to support those small businesses because now you've become aware. Then there's some restaurant groups that do an exceptional job at food, and so they are creating these outdoor dining experiences. One of the events that I had the pleasure of attending was at Uchi. Uchi is a sushi restaurant that's in Reno. That is one of my top 4 sushi restaurants. I have a video from a little while ago of the top 4 sushi places that you have to check out if you are visiting Denver and you want the freshest fish. As you know, Colorado is a landlocked state, so we are not near any oceans or fresh fish that a sushi restaurant would have. So these 4 restaurants would fly in, or they do fly in fresh fish. So Uchi is one that does an exceptional job. They also have a couple locations, or several locations I should say, in the Texas area. And what they did for their Denver location is they flew in 10 chefs. They have a little outdoor area that they set up 3 sets of tables, and they had a 10-course meal. Everything was pretty small and bite-sized, so you weren't, I say roly-poly-oly after the meal. So you were pretty content after the meal, but what was so cool is that each one of the courses, the 10 courses, was made by a different chef. So there was 10 chefs competing, and they had kind of a little bit of an internal competition of whatever course got the best rating, that chef would be awarded a small trophy. So Uchi does it's like a little garden series. Wolf's Tailor is also one of my absolute absolute favorite places to go. If you need any restaurant recommendations, date nights, places to go with the family, please reach out to me. I have a really awesome guide that I like to send that's either visiting Colorado or moving to Colorado, and it is filled with tips and tricks and different facts that you didn't know about the centennial state that we live in. One of those pages is restaurant recommendations by location, and it is pretty lengthy actually, but I broke it down by category. If you like Italian or French, or if you want a place to gather for groups, that this guide is very, very useful and helpful. So Wolf's Tailor is one of my favorites. It is a 6-course preset menu. If you have any allergies or restrictions, you can definitely reach out to them. I just saw it on their Instagram today. They posted that they went to a field, they cooked a multiple course meal, and they added in drone footage of this super duper long table that has just been in the middle of a field that they mowed down, and then they are literally cooking there on open flame. They may have brought in some generators to power up some ovens, but they do exceptional work. Every single ingredient serves a purpose. It's called New American Style, and that is what I look for when I look for restaurants. So the restaurants that I like to go to, I'm not normally going to recommend chains because you can go to chains anywhere. So Colorado and Denver Metro specifically, I have some really great local places that you can't get that type of cuisine other areas. So again, reach out to me. Happy to send that guide to you. That was a long update for what is happening in Colorado. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, or if you want to talk further about places to go, things to check out, neighborhoods to visit while you're here, please reach out to me. My contact information is below. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified every time I release a video, which is twice a week. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next week.